Good morning, my name's Laura Ward. Just going to do a quick morning workout in my onesie. Deep breath in, inhale, stretch, reach and open the front of your chest, and exhale, just bend your knees, just feeling the space around you, bringing yourself into your body. Inhale, lift and open, exhale, bend and release. Inhale, open it up, so we're finding the vertical plane with the arms. Stretching out and up, wide stance on the bottom, feeling the ground under my feet. Inhale, reach and open, and then exhale. I'm going to bend my knees, drop it down, release my spine, release my neck, soften. Inhale, stretch, lift, open the chest. Exhale, soften, melt, relax your neck, relax your shoulder, tension dropping away. Inhale, stretch up, opening the heart and lungs. Exhale, soften and melt, release your spine. 2 more of these. Inhale, reach and open. Exhale, soften, release, melt, let go. Last one. Inhale. This is a very active reach away from center. And then you want to go into passive, softening, melting all the way down. From down here, releasing the spine, shifting from side to side. So I'm shifting my weight, knees as bent as they need to be, letting the movement ripple from the tail to my head. So I'm trying to free up the vertebrae and let my head-tail connection really connect, coming online, feeling my feet underneath me. Then I'm going to soften it a little bit more, make it a little more free flow, less bound flow, less condensed energy, but a little more free energy in my back. And then coming in, I can feel all the blood pooling in my face, in my morning face. Hands inside of my knees, just bending my knees over my toes, and then stretching tail up, head down, and again bending part way, and then a stretch. This doesn't have to be your biggest stretch. My hamstrings are very open, so it's not a big deal for me. Yours may be very different than this, so let your body do what feels good in your body. And then bending to roll all the way up. We're going to do another thing here. Opening the arms up. This is external rotation, internal rotation. Thinking it coming from all the way from collarbone, scapula into that humerus. So this whole upper area is creating, we call it a rhythm of movement. So we're going to externally rotate, open the chest and lungs, stick out the butt, stick out the chest, and then internally rotate, scoop the belly in around the spine. Inhaling, arching, and opening up. Exhaling, hollowing, and curling. I'm going to show you sideways. Inhale, stick it out, arch, and open. Exhale. Hey, stop it. I've got my assistant, as you can see, getting in trouble because he likes to scratch on the sticky mat. Inhale, arch, and open. Exhale, hollow, and curl. Demonstrating a real cat move as opposed to this one, which is a human move. Inhale, arch and open, exhale, but it is a modified cat-cow. So it's a standing cat-cow. Externally rotate on top, internally rotate. 2 more. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, hollow and curl. Last one. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, hollow and curl. And while we're standing, 1 more. Big circle with your pelvis in a range of motion that feels good in your body. Oh, cat is definitely excited. He's running around the kitchen. He has jumped up on a chair. He sees things I don't see. Change direction. There's some nervous looking around and then lick one part of his body moments. Big circles. Going the other way. And then if you feel a little more advanced, figure 8 through the middle and through the middle. Letting that ball and socket joint in the hip really mobilize. So femur head coming up into the pelvis. Getting some nice round movement. Greasing up that interior of the joint. So you're stimulating the production of the synovial fluid, which is the fluid that lubricates your joints. Use it or lose it. And we're just going to do a side-side shift. Side, and you're going to balance. Big side shift and balance. Side shift and balance. Side shift and balance. Side shift and balance, and reach your leg out and bring it in. Side shift and balance. Reach it out and in. Side shift and balance. Reach it out and in. Side shift and balance. Reach it out
and in. So as we age, sometimes we start to lose our balance and our sense of groundedness and our sense of connection. A lot of that is because visually our eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So we want to also find our balance, if possible, eyes closed. Switch over, find it, see if you can close your eyes and stay there. Maybe you need both feet on the ground, but just start to take out the visual every once in a while and let it become kinesthetic, a body experience without the eyes. Switching, eyes closed, if possible. Now, you may need more help with this. You may need to touch the walls as you're doing this. You may need balance. Maybe it's something for you to work on depending on where you are in your life and your age. Whatever it is fine. So now I'm just trying to, it's like when we were down, doing this movement from side to side. From here, I'm trying to find my pelvic floor. Now I'm not super squishing, engaging, or anything like that. I'm just letting it move and glide around and letting that movement move up my spine. So from the back, it looks like this. Trying to just give a little bit of freedom through the different parts of my spinal cord. Very three-dimensional movement. I've got some forward, backward, a little bit up, down, and lots of side, side. And letting that go however it wants to travel up my body towards my head so that there's a sense of connection. We're moving in our bodies all the time. Our bodies, there's no way of isolating anything. If I'm moving one thing, it is affecting the whole body. I'm just going to tilt my screen down so that we can aim at the mat and come down into the floor. Starting in a cross-legged position. For me, this exercise is an exercise I really only do when I'm teaching, and it really helps my back. So, yay, here we are today. Stretching to the side, and then inhaling, opening up, exhaling, side stretch. It doesn't have to be your biggest side stretch. You want to work in what feels good in your body, always listening back into your body. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale, open, exhale over. We're going to change it to a big circle. Inhale up, exhale to the side, taking it over the knee. Let's go slow this first time. Over your knee, moving slowly towards center. You can take longer than I am, or you can go faster, working your own tempo, your own pace to the other knee, especially once you know what it is. Side stretch, and inhale, open it up, going the other way. Side stretch, taking it out over your knee, breathing, feeling both sit bones connecting down into the ground as much as possible. If one's popping up, bring it down a little bit more. Into center, big release. So this is the part that like my back and my hips really need, this place between knee and center. Other knee, connecting my upper and lower body through the center. Side stretch, and inhaling and opening it up. Sideways and forward. Now I'm just going to swoop it around. Sideways and lift. And side stretch and forward and around. Changing arms. Easy movement in the rotator cuff. This is not about clenching every muscle that you have. It's about releasing and allowing movement to happen with whatever support you need. And coming up and then changing to the other side. So one thing that I like to talk about is the fact that our muscles need to be able to do a whole lot of things. They don't just engage, they also want to be able to lengthen and stretch. And then when they're not active, you want your neutral position to be very free and easy. So you're not walking around carrying all this tension, but you're letting your body have a sense of internal flow. When you tighten up and become rigid, things aren't going to move so well inside there. And part of our health is our blood flowing through us, our lymphatic system flowing. So we want to make sure that there is a value and emphasis placed on that place where there's freedom, where movement is happening, where your body can heal from within, which is the way that it does heal. Let's go the other way, starting other way and forward and around and lift and side stretch and forward. Hopefully you changed your legs. Hopefully I cued that. And lift, side stretch and forward and around and open and side stretch and forward and around and opening it up. Good. Then from here, let's just take a little spiral. It doesn't have to be your biggest one. Feel your sit bones connecting into the ground as you lengthen and open up all the way through the crown of your head. Look where your eyes are looking. Let your eyes look around a little bit. Give your eyes a little bit of freedom, and then bring it into center. And when you're looking, you can look out, or you can let what's out there come into you as you're moving your eyes. So you don't have to actively reach for seeing. You let it come to you. Just an idea. Turning the other way, spiraling, opening, letting your eyes have some freedom. Try and get them to look into places that you maybe don't look that much. Low, high, around. And then come back into center. Take your legs out in front of you. Just shake them out. Rotate in and out. A little bit of freedom. So I'm really banging out my calves and my hamstrings here. Trying to release my ankles and my feet. A little shake for the whole body. So anytime you can shake it, it's going to release a little bit of excess tension. A little excess holding. And we're going to come into a position on the mat, or I am. You probably don't have to move the way that I do. Inhale, try to stay in frame, stretch it out, flex and open, and exhale. Let's just bend the knees and start with a small one. Just rolling up. Inhale, I feel my spine adjusting. Exhale, taking time to be in each place so I can feel myself rolling down. Big inhale, arms over my head, and then exhale, coming up evenly on both sides. Inhale, open. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale, I'm going to stretch. I'm going to stretch it out again. Lengthening. Then I'm going to lengthen to the right side of my body. Right side gets longer. Arm and leg stretching away from center. And then left side lengthening out. Letting my pelvis and ribcage have some freedom, but really feeling the fascia and the fascial trains moving in my body. So it's all connected from your fingertips through the soles of your feet. Our organs, our systems, everything is one. It is one body that is working together. The only thing that separates anything in the body is the scalpel and the mind. Really just one thing. So, and I've done a dissection on an unfixed cadaver with Gil Headley, and I have seen that it is all one. You do not, I don't know, I can't even say. You don't separate. It is all one thing. You find this boundary when you have gone too far. It's often that way in life. Deep breath in. Exhale. Bending your knees. Coming all the way up. Inhale. Lengthen arms over your head. Exhale. Roll it down. Inhale. Stretch and reach long. Upper and lower. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. I'm going to change it. Exhale, coming up. This is the same. And then big circle with my arm, opening up my chest and lungs, all the way down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale. Growing and shrinking with the breath. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, body expanding. Exhale. Deep cellular breathing. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. One more time each side. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, inhale, open, exhale, and then take it in. And we're going to make circles with your knees. So you can relax your feet or point them. I've got so much ballet training. It makes me want to point to my feet. And actually my ankles kind of like it right now. Or relax them or flex them. You're just lubricating up that hip socket again, where your femur head is coming into your pelvis. Changing direction. Big, nice range of motion, easy circles. My arms are doing the work. I'm not trying to muscle through this. I'm just trying to increase my mobility and the fluidity of my movement. And then lowering my feet down to the ground. Very easy, loose knee drops. So I'm a movement analyst, which is Laban-Bartenieff work. And in Laban-Bartenieff, we have an exercise called the knee drop. The way that I am doing right now is not the way that the Laban-Bartenieff knee drop is. I'm going all the way open and then rolling through and closing,
all the way open, soft and easy, relaxing my body as much as possible as I roll through. After doing it this way a couple times, release and melt. I'm going to show you the other way. So from the other way, instead of initiating with my leg opening, I'm going to initiate with my pelvis shifting to the side. It's as if I'm spreading out the back of my pelvis onto the mat. That brings my leg up, and the second one follows. Both knees fall, 1, 2. My pelvis and my, I guess, sort of pelvic floor squish back. Although I don't think so much of using my muscles and my tissues as just moving the bones back in space and letting the legs follow. The Bartenia knee drop, drop, drop. Pelvis initiates to come back, knees follow, knee drop the other way, drop, drop. Pelvis initiates, knees follow. And then that's enough of that. Let's bring our hands down to our sides, sliding my heels so they're not quite touchable. I'm a little bit away from my heels, but my leg is going to be pretty close to perpendicular to the floor as I go up and down. Inhaling, pelvis lifts, arms going overhead. If you have a block to stick between your knees, by all means do that if that feels good to you. But try not to overemphasize the use of the inner thighs. Exhale down, thinking of this is really a back and hamstring exercise, working the back of the body, opening the front of the body. Exhaling, the adductors and abductors are just helping to stabilize the leg so it goes straight forward in that train of movement. Now I'm changing the arms. Inhale up, exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, staying up on this one. I'm going to open my feet a little bit wider and get a bigger range of motion and circle my pelvis. So circles, basically thinking of keeping the hip bones equidistant from the floor, but not becoming so rigid that you're just creating constipation in your body or tension. Change direction and delection, delectable movement. Good, and then bring it in, take it down, knees in. This time easy, knee circles, just keeping them together. I'm letting my body really move. I am not trying to hold any tension anywhere. And then changing direction, just letting it massage through your sacrum or your lower back. So you're making this little circle through there. Oh, cat's getting active on his chair again. He had a brief nap. Now I see him kicking around a little. Then let's get a little more active. Hands behind your head, one leg in, one leg out, going. Let's go kind of slow at first. Just reaching. I'm going to add a flex at the bottom. Reach and flex, 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 flex. If that is cramping in your feet at all and you need to relax them, that's fine. 10, 9, random counting 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax for a second. Turn your head from side to side. Take a big yawn. Move your fingers around. Just feel your body. Start to try to differentiate relaxing and a feeling of release and engaging and a feeling of like working in a healthy way, and then thinking of what it is when you're just holding tension. Start to try to feel what's going on in your body. One thing that I do when I'm trying to go to sleep at night is I try to find the edge of my tension, or if I'm worrying about something, where's the edge of that thing, and can I relax into that edge more and more? And it makes me feel a lot better, and it makes me go to sleep easier, is that if I keep finding my edge, finding my sharp spots, and see if I can really soften them a little bit more. The change happens at the edges, not in the center of things. So find where they are, and as Pema Chodron says, lean into the sharp points. Anyway, there's a little Buddhist thought for you. Hands behind your head, we're going to go fast with this next one. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, relatively 6, relatively fast, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax again. Soften, relax. Neck and jaw easy. This tends to be a huge holding place for most people. So one thing you can think about is, what is your tongue doing? Soften your tongue,
Let your mouth open slightly. Release your jaw. So it's kind of like a little stupid face. Like, you're not looking super smart. You're just looking relaxed and easy. And let some of that tension melt out of there, especially all this stuff. I notice my veins popping out in my neck sometimes and getting really intense and fired up. I'm like, can I release that a little bit some of the time? Let's go for one more fast version. That's all relative. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see the plants shaking. 11, 12, 13, random counting. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Shake everything out. And relax. Head turning from side to side. Oh, big yawn or not. Head, tongue relaxed and easy. Jaw, face relaxing, softening. And then let's do something totally different. Right leg up, you're just going to circle your ankle. So these are pretty basic circles. You can see my leg is basically straight. Let's get that knee in there. Circling the other way. Oh, that feels good actually. Balls are so clicking and just playing with that circle. I've become interested in it. Now I'm going to free it up. Let my leg bend, straighten, let my foot play in the space. So just letting yourself break rules, whatever you think they are, whatever you think your leg should do. Pretend you don't know any of that and you're just finding out what can it do? How can it move around? What are the possibilities? A little bit of freedom in the movement of your leg. And letting it move however it feels good. You can get a lot of space out there, a lot of possibilities, even staying on your back of how that leg can move. If it starts to get tired, maybe relax it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, releasing any extra tension, changing to the other leg. So just the foot circling first. I'm still really getting into this relaxed jaw feeling. Ha. Circling the other way, changing direction. Go back and forth a few times, first with a straight leg, or maybe not. You can lower it down. Find a place where it feels good to you or interesting. Sometimes you feel like, oh, this is so great all the time, but feeling like, curious, interesting. And then letting it move however it wants to move, letting it free up. And as my leg is freeing up, I also feel my spine, my back, and my pelvis having more freedom. So I'm not trying to lock myself into some rigid position. I'm trying to find a sense of fluid movement through my body, but doing this exploration with my foot and leg as if I've only just discovered what it is to have a foot or leg. So I said this is going to be a short workout, but looks like it's not going to be a short workout because it's becoming interesting and fun. Jaw, neck, releasing as that foot releases, as that ankle releases, and then shaking the whole thing out. And then let's go with something a little more activating. Let's do some like Pilates style hundreds. My 100 version is very different than Pilates and yet similar. So I'm going to do a 100 with a shh as I exhale. So instead of doing that type of thing, I'm going to have as big an inhale as I can, and then I'm going to do a shh exhale. It's probably going to be like, for me, maybe 6 to 8 counts. Then I'm going to inhale, arms over my head, I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to exhale shh down, starting at 90. You will see. I invite you to participate with that kind of breath because especially women tend to really hold their breath. When I'm teaching classes and I ask people to breathe in a gender way, usually the men have no problem making a whole lot of noise breathing, but the women are a little nuts. I don't want to make noise, and I'm also really annoyed at that person over there who's making too much noise. So calm down. Breath is life. It is moving our whole bodies. Oxygen is moving through our bodies and our blood. It is our life energy, our chi, our prana is coming so much through that breath. So don't lock yourself up. Give yourself the best breath that you can. Inhale. Deep breath in. On the exhale, legs are going to go up. I just had totally broke it because I've exhaled it all out. So inhale. Exhale. So I'm going to do a few more, but I'm going to talk about it first. I like that shh because it regulates the breath. You don't blow it all out at once. I'm imagining as I pull my arms up and I inhale that I'm pulling the breath all the way in through my fingertips up to the very toppest top of all the tops that man has put beyond. ... Thank you, David Bowie. Deep breath, arms all the way up. And then as I come up, head, arms, legs kind of working together. You might not have this range of motion. You might be here to there. That might be what feels good in your back. That's totally cool. Work with your own body. That is the only thing you have. And you want to have it working as functionally for the rest of your life. So one reason that I do this work is because it keeps my body functioning nicely. I'm toning the nervous system as I'm working contralateral patterns in line with upper versus lower patterns, right versus left. It's all good for the tissues, for the fluid systems in the body. So, going back, inhale, exhale, and I'm just going to stay there for a minute and just feel that breathing here. That was enough. Now I need some freedom. So a little free movement. Working, again, I'm working a contralateral pattern on my side. So the beauty of moving your body through space and with the use of gravity is that now the fluids in my body are going to be moving down toward the floor. So that's hydrating the tissue underneath me, and I'm moving through it. So it's given even more opportunities for it to move in ways that feel good to me. Now I'm going to the other side. And this is all free movement, whatever feels good. Letting yourself reach out into space, finding motion in your kinesphere, however it feels good. Oh, yes, movement should feel good and delicious and yummy. And be fun and interesting, and you should feel good afterwards as well as while you're doing it. It's not always going to be great, but most of the time it should feel pretty great and fun and tasty. Creating a nice, loving relationship with your body. Like, thank you, body. You showed up with me today. This is so great. We get to do these things together. It is wonderful. I appreciate you. I value my feet, my ankles, my knees, my hips, my butt, my belly, my boobs even. Something that I've struggled with for a lot of my life because as a dancer, nobody wants them and they don't work well in costumes. Anyway, that's enough of my problem with that. But I have learned to love them as much as I possibly can. So I'm going with this happy baby-ish position, and I feel like this is a great place to find some freedom. Like, look at babies. They are very intelligent movers. They only start to get messed up when they're watching us move all the time. What if babies had, like, the best movers around them? But who are the best movers? I saw Baryshnikov in the White Oak Dance Project, and they were doing the Judson Church, movement, which Judson Church was very pedestrian movement. And on that stage, there was one person who could not do pedestrian movement. And guess who that was? Baryshnikov. He looked like a little sprite. His movement was so fluid and so amazing. There was no way that he could drop it down into that freedom that people who aren't thinking ever about their movement have. So it's really interesting. And it was interesting that he was drawn to that. Anyway, I heard that at a certain point, you can follow what I'm doing as I tell my stories. I heard this from Peter Nauman at New Paltz School of Ballet, that at one point, Baryshnikov said, I will dance, but I don't go up and I don't go down. But you know, when you learn to move your body with that much fluidity, it's just amazing to see that kind of flow and precision and lightness that he has. Anyway. So, still probably has a lot let's go into a Baddha-Konasana. Probably I'm giving you a nice big old boob view there so you can see what I was talking about. I'm just shifting from side to side, trying to get my sit bones down, lengthening these sides of my back. It may be too much for you to do this. Work in something that feels right. And let's go and just do this one exercise before we go on, because it's one of my favorites. And it is internally rotating one leg at a time. And finding that diagonal up through the arm, but really it's about this internal rotation, which I can either send the energy down through my knee or I can spiral more. So I like to play with that, this internal spiral or the lengthening through the quad. Now, I am getting a stretch in this internal rotation and it's wonderful, but I'm also mashing out the tissue under the butt that I'm rolling under, and that is great. Feels wonderful. This is another one really helpful if you do any kind of turning out thing, like perhaps playing hockey or ballet. Oh, feels so good in my body. I love it. And this is another exercise that I really don't do unless I'm giving class or giving myself class. All right, enough of that. Now we are going to come to all fours. And let's just start with something really basic. We've done a lot of spinal mobility. So we're going to do bird dog. I love the name bird dog. Maybe it's an altered version of it. I'm going to go out, bring it in, reach it out, and then lower down. Opposite arm leg out, in, out, and down. And I'm thinking of 3 tracks, 3 parallel tracks. There's my spine, there's the right side of my body, and then there's the left side of my body. So I'm trying not to let it go all wild around, but really making sure my hands are right underneath my shoulders. And if I think of really activating my lats a little bit, my pecs a little bit, I can feel them come into a really supportive place. So they're not just hanging out there, but like that. Out, in, out. So this is one of the more specific exercises. We can change it in a second. I'm all about changing the exercise, finding different things to do. That is called creativity. So we're going to change it now. You're going to take your arm and leg out, then you're going to move them off, bring them back and in. Arm and leg out, take them off center, bring them back and in. Up, off center, out and in, up, off center, out and in. Take a little break for a second, release your shoulders, release your arms, and then we'll show a little bit more creativity with this idea. So coming onto your hands and knees, you're going to take your arm and leg out, and then you're going to find other ways of moving in that opposite crossbody way. So you've got right arm, left leg. It is a contralateral pattern if you're using right arm, left leg, or maybe it's your left arm, right leg. Finding out where this can go besides whatever it is you're doing. You may think you're trying to follow me. It's probably better if you just start to feel in your own body. I'll tell you when we change to the other side, or if you need to change now. I think I do. Finding what can be done here. You can see the movement of my spine, of my torso, my legs, core distal movement. So center to the edges, core, distal, letting it go all over the place. Oh, supported by the other hand and leg and the spine. See what happens if you let your back free up a little bit. What happens when things are a little bit different? What muscles start to work? How does the fluidity of the system change? That is the question. Let's do one more thing here. It's this free-flowing spinal exercise. So you could start with the cat-cow. Then you could start to ripple it, so it's shifting head to tail, or tail to head, or head to tail through your body, or you can add side-side movement, just giving yourself some spinal freedom. Giving your heart, your organs, your lungs, your abdominals, your reproductive organs, your intestines, some chance to move around
in a free-flowing way. If your wrists are tired, feel free to do this on your elbows. Slow things down, speed things up. Make this not about tension, but about fluidity and motion, connection. Finding these internal connections, these internal passageways that are possible in movement. What if we all did more free movement? Where would the world go then? Right? A little less rigidity, a little bit more fluidity, a little bit more support. Finding support for your own body through movement. And then supporting the things that support you, like your own body. Oh, what about that? Or the people that you love. Who do you give the most support to? Who gives you the most support? What things in your life support you? And how do you support that continuing to happen? I am starting to move this into a downward dog. And I'm going to just play with going forward and backward in my dog in various ways. So right now I'm bending my knees, I'm letting my hips drop, I'm letting my head and shoulders find a little bit of freedom. And then I'm going to roll it through. So I'm lifting my heels, hollowing in, rolling it all the way through into a plank, and then reversing that head through the chest, through the lungs, through the middle back, through the waist, through the tail, and then heels down. Heels lift, scoop the belly in, roll it forward, all the way into a strong plank. This time I'm going to flip it into a side plank, just opening up, feeling my top hand right on top of my bottom hand. So I'm not sinking in there, but I'm opening up that space and bringing it back. Let's roll it back and then roll it forward. I have one little spectator over there on the chair, the cat, my other love. Reach it out and up. And by that, I don't mean my other love than movement. I mean my other love than my boyfriend. And bring it down. Walk it in. Oh, just opening up. If this doesn't feel good, do something else. If you need support for your forward fold, support it. Let's play with that again. Fluid motion through the spine here. Doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the world, but something that feels good. I'm letting my shoulders internally rotate and externally rotate here. As I'm arching and curling, chest and lungs, getting a little bit of motion. And then getting back down onto my belly on the mat. Actually, let's go onto my forearms beforehand. So forearm plank, head reaching forward, trying to get like this. Find a strong, long position. One knee to the floor at a time, parallel, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, twisting underneath, big twist. 1, I'm twisting and dropping. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Taking it all the way down. Just softening into the floor. Ah. Melt. I hear my neighbor's lawn whacker going again. There was a brief respite earlier, but now I wonder if you can hear it too. Curling your toes under. Just pushing up and down, softening and melting, breathing. This is about letting go. This is about creating a flow. Think of a lava lamp. Liquids moving up and down, like in your own body. And then hands are going to go next to the chest. Just inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Then arms out in front. Swimming, regular old Pilates swimming. Big breathing. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. And then arching the whole way up, round your spine, taking it to a child's pose. Breathe, surrender, let go. You can wiggle around as you're melting, inviting your spine, your back, your hips, your neck, your shoulders, your face to relax even more. So that deep diaphragmatic breathing stimulates the lymphatic, which is a detox system of your body. And when you are doing that deep diaphragmatic breathing, you're stimulating and moving,
You're going to clear that lymph through your body. So, movement and breath, I think, are the most important things. I mean, you need to eat you need to eat, and eating better, depending on what your body likes and wants, can have a big effect too. Let's just do side planks to finish it off. We're going to press up, pulsing up, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Change to the other side. Finding your feet reaching away from your head so you're not collapsing, but you're opening, you're not arching through, right in the center. Pulsing up 1, 2. I put one foot in front of the other, so I'm not struggling for balance here. I can work on just lifting here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Did I do 20? I have no idea. I'm just going to go to 20. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Taking it down, back into your cross-legged position, crisscross applesauce, side stretch, side stretch. So we're backing out the way that we went in. This time circling around, head away from the tail, just feeling what it's like to be in your body now compared to when you started. This is like the insurance policy on being able to move when you are 101. Change legs. We're going to add a hip stretch though before we finish this off. So hip stretch. If you want to do a different one, go for it. I'm going to do this, one leg over the other, taking it down. And I want to tell my Elaine Colandrea story while we're doing the stretch. She is a continuum teacher here in upstate New York, and I was taking her continuum class a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about clothing, and she said, yeah, I always kind of wear the same thing. She goes, my old criteria for buying clothes was, could I sleep in it, could I move in it, and then could I go out in it at night for dinner? And if that met all those criteria, it was worth having. And I have to say, the onesie meets those criteria. Sleep in it, move in it, go out. I went out dancing, swing dancing with my brother in another onesie the other night, and it was quite effective. Change it to the other side. Either one leg, both legs, some other hip stretch, whatever you need. Listen into your own body or follow me. If you're doing the one leg version, it looks like this. Breathe, soften, melt, let go. What is no longer serving you? What can you let go of? Anything? What edge can you make a little softer? Give yourself more space. Use the breath, feeling the rising and falling of the breath, growing and shrinking of the body with the breath. Every exhale melting a little bit more. Good, and then coming up, give it a shake, up and down. You can hear the calves and the hamstrings whacking onto the floor. Rotate in and out. When I do this rotating in and out, I like to kind of add a little arch and curl because I feel like changing the relationship with my pelvis releases a lot of this stuff up here. So I'm just going to tilt the screen or ask my cameraman, Austin, to do it. Thank you, Austin. Oops, too tilted. Let's just drop that down a little bit. There we go. Just to finish off the way we started, inhaling, opening up, feeling what it feels like to be in your body, thanking your body for being with you, with me here today. Soften and melt. Inhale and open. It is perfect for you. Your body and you are made together. The choices you make are the things that happen in your body as well. So if you want to start by accepting it and then moving into a loving relationship with it. Love the body. As a culture, we tend to be very anti-body here. So, or body as sort of idol. That's not quite right either. Something that is an interactive equality relationship. You are all one, you and your body, not a different thing. It is the same process. It is the same, that is changing all the time. Everything you eat, how much you sleep, who you hang out with, what thoughts you're thinking affect the whole of you. You are a process, not an object, not a thing. One process moving into this world. Woo! Thank you so much for being with me. Laura Ward. Ciao.